Like a magician revealing his secrets, one of Austin's destination restaurants, Salt Lick Barbecue, is releasing a new cookbook in November, appropriately titled The Salt Lick Cookbook, a story of land, family, and love. Joining us today is Scott Roberts to give us a sneak preview. Thanks so much for being here today.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here.
Very cool to kind of get a behind-the-scenes look at the magic. Why now? Why the cookbook now?
Oh, lots of people have asked us for it many times over the years, and I'd been thinking about it and putting the history of the family together, and it just all seemed to come together.
Now, what are some of the recipes that you unveil?
We unveil everything except the barbecue sauce.
That's the one that you won't let go of.
No, if we told you that, we'd have to kill you, and that'd be mass murder.
I'm sure that's just one of many things that have made the Salt Lick so popular. So what are we making today?
Today, we thought we'd give you a tasty snack for football games.
Okay.
So you have the Longhorn game, you cook a brisket, you have some left over. We're going to show you something to make to be a tasty little snack to watch the Cowboys or the Texans.
Okay.
The
Perfect,
Redskins. So what you start off with is a little chopped brisket.
So here's your leftovers.
Yep. And then you add to that a little bit of seasoning. This seasoning is a little garlic salt, a little cayenne pepper, and a little black pepper. And then any kind of sauce that you like to give it some kind of moisture.
And what is
this one is
here?
ours, habanero sauce.
Okay, I thought maybe that was the secret recipe.
Then we pickle our own jalapenos, so we pickle them and then we chop them and you strain them out so there's not too much juice in them.
Okay.
And then we add Swiss cheese and cheddar cheese.
Everybody loves cheese.
Yes. And panko breadcrumbs.
Okay.
So this is all together, and then you put one beaten egg over the top of all of that. And then it's just thoroughly mixed together. And once you've done all of that, it should come out.
We have a finished product here.
Product like this. It looks something similar like that, and then we call them poppers. So what we have you do is roll them into little jalapeno shapes.
Okay.
Like they are. And so you can fry them at this stage, and as a matter of fact, in the cookbook, this is the recipe we give you to this stage. But we thought today we'd show you how to make them a little bit crispier.
Oh, right. That sounds good.
So then you take them, and you can just roll them in a little flour and dust them, and then dip them in a little milk. And then we roll them in a mixture of basically cornmeal and panko.
I can tell this takes time to perfect.
It does. And then after they're all done, lo and behold, they end up looking like this.
Now, in addition to the recipes, the cookbook also explores some of the history to the Salt Lick. Talk about that.
Yeah, my family moved into the Driven Springs area between 1870, 1880. And then where the Salt Lick is was purchased by my grandparents in 1902. And my father was born on the land, and they worked it agriculturally. And then my father was the barbecue cook that all the recipes were handed down to him. And so he ultimately decided that he didn't want to, his job required him to travel over the state. He decided he wanted to quit that. He was going to live in Driftwood. So we came up with 54 things we could do as a family, and the Salt Lick was the 14th thing on the list.
Well,
and then we built it, and then so
a lot of people are very thankful for that.
Yeah, and then to get in with the recipe, we go ahead and you just put them in 350-degree oil.
Okay.
For about 4 to 5 minutes, and turn them until they're nice and brown. But then the cookbook is the story of all of that, of how all of the traditions and the way they cooked on wagon trains and stuff ultimately led up to the Salt Lick.
What are some other recipes?
Well, we have my grandmother's biscuits, and we have my mother's biscuits. We have my grandmother's fried chickens, and we have my mother's lemon chiffon cakes, and it goes on and on.
Am I drooling?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then we have my daughter's. She's the third generation. It's going to carry on after us. We have her grilled cheese brisket sandwich and things like this. And so we have stories of things that transpired on the ranch and over time, and then there's recipes attached to it.
We've got it right up on the screen right there. Again, it's available in November, but if you go to the website, I think there's a kind of a sneak preview that people can get online as well.
And then when they finish, they look like these. They're very tasty.
Perfect for your football parties, as you mentioned.
That's right.
Thank you so much for being with us today. Again, you can check out the Salt Lick, one of 3 locations, Driftwood, up in Round Rock, and then out at the airport. All right. Thank you so much. We'll be right back.